Hello, my name is Sofia Ojeda, and today Valeria and I will be talking about the Discourse community, the United Nations, or the UN for short. So, you might be asking, what is the United Nations? Well, the United Nations is an international organization that was founded in 1945. It's currently made up of 193 member states. The mission and work of the United Nations is guided by the purposes and principles contained in its founding charter, or in other words, treaty. The four main values of the United Nations are to maintain international peace and security, protect human rights, deliver humanitarian aid, promote sustainable development, and uphold international law. The UN also provides a place to discuss for its members to express their views, such as the General Assembly, the Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, and other bodies and committees. Which leads me to the first form of communication. But let's discuss this one inside. The three main conferences that the UN holds is the General Assembly, Economic and Social Council, and the UN Crisis Conference.
Good morning, New York City. It is such a beautiful September day today. Although Midtowners, heads up, traffic is going to be bad. Here's why.
That's right, a lot of world leaders in town. We've got President Obama, Putin, the Pope is going to be in town. So roads are going to be closed off on short notice. Make sure you have a couple different ways to get to work.
I'm excited to meet Putin.
They reach specific goals to attain peace, security, and disarmament, along with development and poverty eradication, safeguard human rights, and promote the rule of law, as well as protect our common environment. The Economic and Social Council is the UN's main venue that discusses international and economic social issues. They talk about topics such as human rights, narcotics, population, social development, statistics, science and technology, and the status of women. They conduct studies, formulate resolutions, coordinate the activities of various UN organizations, and they set up agreements based on the considerations that were discussed in the General Assembly. And finally, the UN Security Council. They hold what is called the UN Crisis Conference. UN's role in international security is called the UN Charter. This authorizes the UN Security Council to investigate any situation that threatens international peace, as well as recommend procedures for a peaceful resolution, or enforce military by any means necessary.
For the United Nations, the face-to-face communication is one of the most important types of communications. For the face-to-face communication, they have volunteers, people that go all over the world to try to help as much people as possible. Here's where the United Nations actually puts in the work to try to stop all the things that they're trying to put an end to. One of the things that they're really big on is to put an end to poverty and starvation. Here's a video that explains this with more detail of people that actually go out there and interact with the needy.
Temps aussi a donné une autre image des Nations Unies. Ce n'est pas quelque chose d'abstrait, ce n'est pas que des gens qu'on voit à la télé, mais c'est des gens qui viennent, qui contribuent à faire améliorer les conditions de vie des populations.
The most valuable thing we've got from UNVs is being able to put our international knowledge into a local setting. So we might come with an idea that we've tested out and tried and executed in another part of the world, but we'll be able to understand from the UNVs here how it can be adapted. We can't do half the things we do if we don't have UNVs.
Just like the video said, the United Nations would not be what it is if it weren't for the volunteers.
Social media is another way of communication in the United Nations. This is one of the biggest ways that they get their message out to the people. They have things such as Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and websites set up so people can get as much information as possible. Here, they post their latest news or things that they want to bring the most attention to. On their website, they try to make it as interactive as possible, so everyone gets a feel of what it's like to be a part of the organization. They also have a system set up so people can donate money to the organization that speaks to them the most, such as to put an end to hunger, poverty, or so many more world problems.